Hi friends, it's Julie Golding Page, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in St. Stephen, New Brunswick, Canada, along the tidal Scoodic or St. Croix River, the traditional territory and home of the Passamaquoddy, and I'm grateful that they share this beautiful place with us. Today I'm here to show you a very simple project to invite a friend for a cuppa, whether to your house or to a cafe, whatever you like. And this is the card we're going to be making today. So let's get right to it, and I'll share some news from Stampin' Up! Along the way as well. So let's switch over to our other view here, and let's hope it all works. I've been having some technical difficulties, so I'm kind of late getting going today, but anyways, good. We can see the card here. I hope you can see everything on the screen. And we're going to be using these products today. So this one is Coffee with Friends, and I just love this stamp set. So it's got this picture of two ladies together, this one over here by herself with a cup of something. Who knows what it is? It could be coffee, it could be tea, it could be chocolate, or whatever you like to drink at the cafe. And then we have a nice cup of something here with some croissants. And you have all these really wonderful sentiments. Look at this one. Coffee with a friend is like happiness in a cup. And I really like that. I think that's so nice. Let's get together soon. That's the one we're going to use today. Thinking of you. Sometimes you just have to reheat your coffee one more time and try again. That's good. That's kind of what I've had to do today. My coffee is literally getting cold while I'm dealing with all the technical difficulties I've had. And I've had to try again 2 or 3 times actually. So hopefully this time is it. And this one, you've got this. So everybody needs an encouraging word once in a while. And I like this too. You've got this and coffee too. So you could have thinking of you on the front and maybe and coffee too on the inside. And it's just a really, really nice stamp set. I like it so much. So we're going to use it today. And we're not going to do any coloring. We're going to use it in a very simple way. So you can make this project at home in about 5 minutes. And I'll talk more about the steps as we get going. So the first thing I want to do is just move some of these out of the way, and I'll take a look at the card here. And we want to cut out this scalloped rectangle. Now, if you don't have a die cut machine at home and you'd like to get one, I can certainly help you with that. I'd love to help you. Just look for me at www.juliescraftaddict.com or just send me a message from this post. But in the meantime, if you don't have a die cut machine, you could just cut a rectangle. Okay, so that would do just fine as well. It's a little fancier with the scalloped edge, and so I'll show you how that looks today. But you could just do it with a regular rectangle as well, or a different die if you don't have these ones. So here we go. I'm going to use the middle one. And all of these dies, except for the largest scalloped rectangle, you can use them in the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So we're going to do that today. So here's the little mini machine, which I really like because I can take it to the cottage. I can take it to a paper crafting event. It's really, really easy to tote around. It's very light. And we're just going to pull down the plates here and get going with it. So please let me know where you're watching from today and whether you would enjoy making a project like this that invites someone over for a cuppa. So I just think it's the season where we want to be doing that. Thankfully, COVID has not been such a big thing lately, so we're able to get together with friends again, which is fantastic. And I think everybody's enjoying that. I certainly did this summer. We did some travel for the first time, really, since everything started with the whole pandemic. And it was wonderful to just be able to travel and meet so many new people. Really, really great. And I love meeting new people. So please do introduce yourself in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. All right, here we go. So we're just making one die cut today. That's all. And here's what we got. So it makes a really, really elegant little rectangle. And then it's got all these little cuts in it as well, which are very fancy. So I like that. So I'm just going to move my dies out of the way here and move my machine. So you just fold it up again when you're done, if you haven't seen one before. And that's it. And you just move that and the plates out of the way. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to do is stamp. I like to do stamping as close to the beginning of a project as I can, because that way I make sure I don't have my arm or my project in the ink afterwards. So that's what we're going to do first. And we're going to use Calypso Coral. So this is a lovely deep orangey color. And we're also going to use Pretty Peacock. So we're going to use 2 colors. You could just use 1 color if you like. But I'm just matching the colors with this paper. And this paper is called Inked Botanicals. So maybe I should show you a little bit about that after. But let's do the stamping first so we don't get ink on our lovely paper. So here's our image. And I think that'll fit only just, but it will fit on a regular block that comes from our kits. So this is just a little kit block that you get with any kit. And I'm going to use a second kit block. They're kind of my go-tos to put our sentiment. So I had Let's Get Together. So let's see if we can find Let's Get Together. There it is. Let's Get Together Soon, I guess it is. Oh, hi, Kathy. Glad you could join today. Just doing a simple little project to invite a friend to have a cuppa. All right, so we're going to just ink this up, and you just tap a few times firmly, but not squishing it right into the ink pad. If you squish your image into the ink pad, you'll get an overabundance of ink, and that's probably not what anybody wants. And we're just going to hold it down for several seconds, and then you don't need to rock it or anything like that, just straight down and pull up, and that's what you get. So very simple. Now this kind of image looks like you'd want to color it, and you certainly could, but I wanted to make it really simple so that if you're just starting or you'd like to start stamping, you can see how easy it is to make a nice project without taking a long time or having to have too much equipment either. So next we're going to put our little sentiment there, and again I'm using Pretty Peacock, so we're just going to tap it a few times. You can check and see how the coverage is, and because that looks like a lot of ink, I am going to try that out on a scrap paper. So I just have this little scrap paper here, so I'm just going to try that and see if it's too much. Oh no, that came out all right. So that's what I like to do, especially with a sentiment. When I ink it up, I like to try it out a lot of the time before I actually stamp on my paper, because you just never know. You want to make sure that it's giving the ink coverage you want, but it's not too much. And sometimes that can be a fine line. So I like to try it out first. So hopefully this one will go really well for us. Oh yes, look at that. Yeah, very nice, look at that. Okay, so now I'm going to close up my ink pads immediately because we don't want an ink disaster on ourselves, our clothes, or our project. And please don't ask me how I know. That can happen so easily, so I've learned to just close them up. So I'm just going to use my Simply Chamois here. And this is just a special foamy bit that you can buy from Stampin' Up. They're not very expensive. And you just add water to them and make them damp and pliable, and just kind of wring them out really gently like you would a washcloth. And then you can clean your stamps, and this applies to most of the inks that you'll get from Stampin' Up. You can just clean your stamps right like this, very simply. You stamp into it, and then you can twist as well to get all the little bits of ink out. And you're just using water, so no chemicals are needed. And I really like that about it. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it's environmentally friendly as well. So that is it for our stamping. And we've got that piece all done. So let's make the rest of our card now. So let's get our card base out, and we can crease that. So today I am using crushed curry as my card base, and I will have all the instructions written out for you, as well as a whole supply list of everything I'm using here in the post that you can click on where it says learn more under this post. That takes you right to my blog, And I've got all the measurements and everything that you would need to make this project. And if you have any questions, please just ask. I really love hearing from everyone, and every person who sends me a message just encourages me to keep going and keep designing and keep sharing. And I would love to hear from you, and I'm happy to help in any way I can. So here I'm just using my Stamp and Seal. This is a lovely tape glue, which sticks really well. I found some of the cheap ones, while they're good for kids' crafts and so on, they tend to not really stick very well, and in short order, your cards will fall apart. But what I can say about using this Stamp and Seal is I've not had that happen. So I'm really happy that this actually works really well, and you can get refills as well. So here I just took a panel of this Inked Botanicals paper and I applied it to a panel of Pretty Peacock. And I'll just show you the Inked Botanicals paper. I know that a lot of people have been waiting for the All About Autumn paper to come back into stock, and it's really the beautiful paper, and it will be back in stock before the end of the month from what they indicate. But this one, Inked Botanicals, I think could be overlooked as a great fall choice because look at all the lovely patterns. So you have these earthy colors like the Crushed Curry and the Calypso Coral Orange, and then they give it a twist with Pool Party and Lost Lagoon. So this is a really nice paper. Here's the backs as well, so you can see. And it's just got some really nice fall colors, I find. And I've been using it a lot, actually. I do have the All About Autumn paper that I bought way back when, before it was out of stock. But I've been using this one a lot, and I really like how bright the colors are, and yet how earthy they are at the same time. Okay, so now we just have to assemble. It's really simple. So I'm going to turn over my panel, and I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. And if you're new to these, they are the best thing. I've been using these for about 15 years since I first met Stampin' Up, and they're one of my favorite products. I love all the stamps and ink and everything, but these adhesives, oh my, they're fantastic. I really love them. They stick so well, and you get 300 of them in a pack for $6, so they're really inexpensive as well, and just really nice quality. All right, so we've got that on there, and that pops it up a little bit. Now we're going to use our dimensionals, and we're going to put them on the back of our stamped piece as well. So I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. I always like to put 4 in the corners and 1 in the middle. And if you're watching today, maybe let me know what your favorite cuppa is. I start off my mornings with coffee, and then I usually have a decaf coffee after my caffeinated one. And then in the afternoon, I go for things like matcha and other kinds of tea, and kind of go on the downswing from all the caffeine. So let me know what you like to drink as well while you're crafting. Okay, so now we're going to make our little bow. And let's see what this one's called. So this is, Lost Lagoon. And it is called 1/4 inch bordered ribbon. And I always like to tie right on the spool because I find you use less that way, so you waste less. And I'm just doing the bunny ear method. So I just made a little bunny ear, went down the ribbon a little bit, and made another bunny ear. I'm just going to cross them over in the middle, and then you can hold the middle and pull as much as you like. And this method that someone taught on the internet, I don't even know who now, has really revolutionized my bow tying. I really, really appreciate it because it's so much easier than making a knot and all those other things. It just seems to turn out so well most of the time. So it takes a little practice, but I just find it's a really good method. All right, so now we're going to trim. Okay, so there's my bow. And from tying right on the spool, there's my waist. That is it. So it's a really good way to get the most for your money. And I'd also recommend these, by the way. These are paper snips from Stampin' Up. And I find that they're really, really good. Like they've got the sharpness that you need for little corners and cutting out things. and also for cutting ribbon. I've not found anything better. For a long time, I didn't buy them because I thought, yeah, I already have some scissors. In fact, I have many pairs of scissors. But then eventually I thought, okay, I'll give them a try. And they're really, really good for cutting your ribbon and getting a very nice edge on it. So I'm a fan of those now. There we go. So I just used a mini glue dot, which you get in these rolls, and put that on. Now we're going to add some embellishments as our final touch. So the embellishments I'm using are these ones, the neutral adhesive back sequins. They are out of stock right now and will be for a little while. However, there is a clearance item right now on the clearance rack for just $6.50, and they have some gold sequins in that as well. I think it's called Sequins for Everything. Anyways, I included it in my blog post today. So if you're looking for some sequins, that's a really inexpensive way to go. So you can have a look at that. Just click on the Learn More in this post and you'll be able to find all the information about that. So I'm just going to use one big one here, one small one up here, and then we're going to make a triangle to draw the eye down across the image. And I'm going to use another large one. So I'll just put it over here, just kind of like that. And that is our very simple project. So very, very easy. And again, if you don't have a die cut machine yet, you can just cut a regular rectangle and I'm sure it would look very nice as well. But before I go today, I just wanted to share a little bit of stamping news with you. If you're needing some holiday crafting supplies, I have some good news for you. I have a BOGO going on right now. And the way that it works is that you get to select free on my BOGO group on Facebook, and there's information in the post today as well. You get to select free some items and then spend an equivalent amount on new items on my Stampin' Up! Website. And so all the information is in that post under Learn More that you can click on in this broadcast, and it'll tell you how to join the Facebook group. If you can't find it, just message me. I'd be happy to help you. And I'm just really happy to offer this at this time because everybody's buying their holiday crafting supplies, and it's a really good time to save a little bit while you're doing that. Also, if you're looking to save, there are 2 joining deals from Stampin' Up! Right now in celebration of their 35th anniversary as a company. So one is get 35% off the cost of your starter kit. And a starter kit is anything you want to buy, basically. So this deal is $87.75, no tax, no shipping in most places in Canada. And you get to choose $165 worth of stuff, anything you like. Or you can go for this 35% more product. And so that gets you $222.75 worth of stuff, of anything you want, and you only pay the regular price of the starter kit, which is $135. So again, no tax and no shipping in most places in Canada. So if you'd like to know more about these deals, you can just contact me. I'd be happy to help you out. And you can also check them out on www.juliescraftaddict.com under Join Creative Cafe. That's my group, and I have some things that I do with my group as well. And the final thing I wanted to mention is I have some classes coming up. So these are December classes. They're going to be closing this Saturday because I want to make sure to get all the product in before the shipping deadlines for the holidays kick in. So one of the classes is going to be using this beautiful Magical Meadow stamp set and dies. You don't need the dies for the class though. And I've got a couple of other classes too. A kit class for anyone who's new and hasn't tried stamping before. And I've also got another class that's based on the Berry Christmas Suite. I forget the name of the bundle, but it's the bears with the bear punch and the bear stamp. Anyway, so that's another one that I have. And you can find all of that information at www.juliescraftaddict.com. So if you need any supplies, I would be very, very happy to help you. And please just let me know. I welcome questions and I love to meet new people. So here's our project again. This is the card that we made. And thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a wonderfully crafty day. Bye for now.